They thought he was just sweeping the floor until his vote swept their plans away. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, was a town of brick sidewalks and quiet pride, where the community center on Elm Street held more than meetings. It held memories. Samuel Sam Turner, 7, knew every corner of that building. For decades, he'd balanced its books as an accountant, then stayed on after retirement, polishing tables and fixing chairs. His gray sweater and soft hum made him blend into the woodwork, but his sharp brown eyes missed nothing. To the seniors playing chess or knitting in the lounge, Sam was family. To Jenna Miles, the new board chair, he was invisible until he wasn't. Jenna swept into the center one crisp October morning, her tablet glowing with condo renderings. At 5'10" in heels, she carried the confidence of someone who'd never been told no. Lancaster's changing, she told the board, her voice slicing through the room's warmth. This center's a drain. Low turnout. High costs. We'll sell it, build luxury flats, and fund a rec app instead. The board, mostly developers her age, nodded. Mr. Kessler, 71, a retired baker and the only senior member, coughed. Sam Turner keeps this place running. Jenna, you sure about selling? Jenna smirked, tapping her screen. Progress doesn't dust furniture. Mr. Kessler, time to move on. Sam overheard from the hallway, his rag pausing mid-swipe. He didn't flinch, just kept polishing, his rhythm steady as the town clock. But Martha, 65, a retired nurse who ran the knitting club, caught his eye. She's trouble. Sam, Martha whispered, folding a scarf. Talking like you're nothing. Sam tucked his rag away, his voice low. Let her talk. Martha, floors don't shine themselves. But his hand grazed a locked box in his coat pocket, where a faded endowment deed sat. A secret he'd guarded for years. Jenna pressed forward. By noon, she'd posted a sale notice on the center's bulletin board, citing strategic realignment. She called Sam to her office, a repurposed closet with a humming laptop. Mr. Turner, she said, barely looking up. You've been great, but we're streamlining. Train attempt to lock up. Then retire fully. Her tone was final, like she'd already sold his chair. Sam adjusted his glasses, his voice even. This center's more than a building. Miss Miles, it's Lancaster's heart. She laughed, sharp. Hearts don't pay taxes. Train the temp by Friday, or I'll find someone who will. The town stirred. At the diner, Martha shared Jenna's plan over coffee. Selling the center, growled Pete, a 68-year-old mechanic, slamming his mug. Sam helped my grandkid with tax forms when I was laid off. At the senior lounge, Martha and Kessler dug through old files, finding a 1985 ledger. Samuel Turner endows $750,000 to save community center. It detailed Sam, then 27, pooling savings and grants after a mill closure nearly bankrupted Lancaster. The Turner Endowment, named for his mother, had rebuilt the center, funded youth programs, even kept the heat on. Martha clutched the paper, her voice fierce. This is our Sam. Jenna's clueless. Jenna pushed harder. She hired a facility coordinator with no Lancaster ties. Her job at a jab at Sam. Tech skills, no mention of community. She stopped by the lounge, her voice clipped. Clear those old photos. Mr. Turner, we're staging for buyers. Sam didn't look up, just kept fixing a chair. You're clearing more than you know. Mrs. Miles, Lancaster holds tight to its own. She scoffed, but his calm shook her. His eyes held a weight she couldn't place. That night, Sam opened his box, tracing the endowment deed. Not yet, he murmured, locking it again. But his hands weren't idle. He was counting votes. By Friday, Lancaster was buzzing. Martha's ledger hit the local paper. Center at risk. Is its hero forgotten? It showed Sam at 27, signing the endowment. His face serious, but proud. The diner erupted. Sell the center. A florist snapped, folding the paper. Sam kept us going when my shop nearly closed. At chess night, seniors passed flyers, their voices rising. Pete stood, his wrench-scarred hands firm. He's one of us. We're not losing him. Sam kept working, his broom a quiet metronome, but Jenna's smile was fading. She hadn't expected a fight. The community center on Elm Street hummed with unease, its hardwood floors gleaming under Sam Turner's steady polish. At 67, he moved like the town's heartbeat. quiet, constant, unnoticed until it faltered. The bulletin board by the entrance now sported Jenna Miles's sale notice. Its bold font a jab at the seniors knitting in the lounge, the kids shooting hoops, the chess players plotting moves. Outside, a hand-painted sign leaned against a lamppost. Keep our center, keep Sam. Jenna ignored it, her heels clicking as she toured with a realtor, pointing at walls like they were already hers. Prime location, she told him. Tablet flashing condo mock-ups. We'll gut it by spring. Sam overheard from the lounge, his rags slowing over a table's edge. He didn't speak, just kept wiping, his brown eyes sharp behind wire-rimmed glasses. Martha, shelving yarn for her knitting club, wasn't so restrained. Good it, she hissed, her gray braid swinging. She's gutting us. Sam, did you see the paper? Folks are furious. Sam nodded, his fingers grazing the locked box in his coat pocket, where the Turner endowment deed lay. I saw. Martha, let them read. Roots hold firm. His calm was a shield, but his mind was turning. Jenna's latest move had nudged him closer to unlocking that box. Jenna tightened her grip. She called a staff meeting in the center's cramped office, her voice crisp as she handed out tasks. Lila, she told the new coordinator, a nervous 25-year-old with a laptop, digitize the event logs. Sam's paper system's a relic. Everyone else, box up old trophies. We're decluttering. The volunteers, mostly seniors who'd known Sam for decades, shifted uncomfortably. Ellie, 62, a retired librarian, spoke up. Sam's system tracks every kid who's walked through here. Jenna, it's not clutter. Jenna's smile was thin. History's online now. Ellie, Sam, train Lila by tomorrow, or I'll assume you're stalling. Sam met her gaze, his voice low. I'll train her. Miss Miles, but you might want to know what you're boxing up first. She waved him off, but her fingers tapped her tablet. He wasn't folding like she'd hoped. Lancaster was waking up. Martha and Pete, the mechanic, passed a petition at the diner, collecting 200 signatures by lunch. Sam's our glue. Pete told a crowd over fries, his voice rough. He fixed my taxes when I nearly lost everything. At the Historical Society, Martha and Mr. Kessler unearthed more records. A 1990 note showing Sam's endowment funding the center's roof repair, and a 1995 grant for summer camps. Martha showed them to the Lancaster Gazette editor, who ran a follow-up, Who is Sam Turner, the man behind our center? It included a faded photo of Sam at 30, shaking hands with a mayor, his face steady but proud. A few grandkids posted it online. Keep Sam trended locally, rare for a town of 8,000. Jenna felt the pressure. At the market, a cashier frowned as she passed. At the center, a teen slipped her a flyer reading bricks over apps. She brushed it off, but her emails to the board grew sharp. I'm revitalizing, not destroying. She snapped to Mrs. Lang, a 69-year-old board member. Mrs. Lang adjusted her scarf. You're erasing Sam's work. Jenna, that endowment. Did you read it? Jenna scoffed. Old money doesn't run buildings. But Mrs. Lang's pause lingered, and Jenna's inbox swelled with resident complaints, demanding a public vote. She agreed, setting it for Friday. Sure she could sway them with graphs. Sam kept moving, training Lila with care despite her laptop's glitches. It's not about screens, he told her, his voice warm as he showed her a logbook. It's about who shows up. Lila nodded, then whispered, people say you saved the town. Mr. Turner? Sam smiled faintly. People say lots. Lila, I just balanced the books. But his words carried weight, and Lila's eyes widened. She sensed he was more than his sweater let on. That night, Martha slipped Sam a folder at closing time. More endowment records, she said, breathless. You paid for the playground? Sam, even the July picnic. Jenna's blind. Sam tucked the folder away. She'll see. Martha, soon. Thursday brought a storm. Jenna, rattled by the petition's 350 signatures, posted a memo, center sale vote, at tomorrow's meeting. She cornered Sam in the lounge, her tone icy. Mr. Turner, don't fight this. Retire quietly, or I'll report you for obstructing development. Sam looked up, his glasses glinting. Development, Missy Miles, or your portfolio. She flinched, unused to his edge, and strode off. Martha overheard, her voice fierce. She's scared. Sam, time to show her. Sam didn't answer. He was already tallying. By Friday morning, the center was a hive of whispers. Residents packed the meeting hall, their boots scuffing the floor Sam had polished. Farmers, retirees, teens with Keep Sam pins. Over 100 strong, clutching Gazette clippings. Jenna stood at a lectern, her tablet ready with charts. Sam sat in the back, his deed now in a plain envelope, his face calm but firm. Martha squeezed his arm. This is it. Sam, they're with you. As Jenna began her pitch, Lancaster needs progress, not old walls. The crowd stirred, eyes on Sam. He rose, his steps slow but sure, and walked to the front. Mind if I share a word about Lancaster's books? Mrs. Miles, he asked, his voice clear as a bell. The room held its breath, and Jenna's smirk faltered. She'd planned to sell him out. But Sam was balancing the ledger. The community center's meeting hall was a tapestry of Lancaster's soul. Scuffed boots on the floor Sam Turner had polished. Seniors clutching Gazette clippings. Teens with Keep Sam pins glinting under fluorescent lights. Over 100 residents packed the rows, their murmurs like a river against Jenna Miles's lectern. At 34, she stood rigid, her tablet's charts no match for the weight of their stares. Sam, 67, stepped forward, his gray sweater unassuming, but his brown eyes sharp as ever. A word about Lancaster's books. Miss Miles, he'd asked, his voice cutting clean through her prepared speech. Jenna's smirk had crumbled, and now the room held its breath, sensing a reckoning older than the oak beams above. Sam set his plain envelope on the lectern, his hand steady as if balancing a ledger. This center isn't just a building, he began, his tone warm but firm, like a grandfather telling a hard truth. It's where we taught our kids to read, held funerals when the mill closed, planned our comeback. Miss Miles calls it a drain, but I call it home. The crowd nodded, a low rumble rising. Jenna gripped her tablet, her voice sharp. Mr. Turner, we're voting on facts, not feelings. My plan brings profit. Sam met her gaze, unflinching. Then let's check the books. Jenna, open my envelope. Martha, in the front row, passed it up, her braid trembling with pride. Sam broke the seal, pulling out the Turner endowment deed, its faded ink glowing with authority. This is from 1985, he said, holding it high. I signed it when Lancaster lost the mill, when we faced losing our schools, our clinic, our hope. It brought $750,000 to rebuild, and it's still active. The hall stilled. Mrs. Lang, the board member, leaned forward, her scarf slipping. Sam, you did that. Sam nodded, his glasses catching the light. My mother taught me to give without fanfare. I just kept her promise. Jenna's screen dimmed, her fingers frozen. An old endowment, she stammered. That doesn't change today's costs. Sam's eyes narrowed, not with anger, but clarity. Doesn't it? That endowment funds half this town's programs. Youth camps, the playground, even the 4th of July picnic. Sell the center, and the deed's terms cut the funds. No endowment, no Lancaster as you know it. He handed the deed to Mr. Kessler, who scanned it, his baker's hands shaking. He's right, Kessler said, voice hoarse. The endowment's tied to the center's operation. Sell it, and we're bankrupt. The crowd erupted. Pete clapped. Martha cheered. A teen waved a Keep Sam sign high. Jenna sank into a chair, her face pale. She'd seen Sam as a shadow, to sweep away, not the town's anchor. I didn't know, she muttered. But Sam wasn't finished. He opened Martha's folder. Ledgers. Notes. A 1990 thank you from the mayor. In 1990, the endowment fixed this roof, he said. In 1995, it saved our summer camps. Every July, it buys the fireworks. The center isn't a cost, it's our balance sheet. His voice cracked, not from weakness, but from decades of carrying that weight alone. The hall fell silent. Then Pete stood, his mechanic's hands clenched. Sam's our balance. 2. Vote no on the sale. The chant spread, no sale. Keep Sam. Mrs. Lang raised her hand, her voice steady. Jenna, your plan's done. Sam, what do you need? Sam paused, his hands resting on the lectern. Not my place, he said softly. I need Lancaster to remember why we stay together. Jenna looked up, her voice small. Mr. Turner, I misjudged you. I'm sorry. It wasn't loud, but it landed. Sam nodded, not with triumph, but grace. Learn from it. Jenna, that's enough. The vote was unanimous. Center stays open, but Lancaster didn't stop there. By Monday, the Gazette ran a front-page story. Sam Turner, Lancaster's quiet keeper. The diner hung a sign, Turner Hall, for our Sam. At Knitting Club, Martha raised $3,000 for new chairs, her needles clicking proudly. Jenna stayed, quieter now, asking Sam to show her his ledgers. It's not digital, she admitted, but it tracks everyone. He smiled, handing her a pencil. Start here. Jenna, every line's a life. A month later, Elm Street sparkled with July picnic lanterns. The endowment's gift, brighter than ever. Sam stood by the center steps, watching kids chase fireflies. His sweater swapped for a vest Martha made. Pete joined him, his voice gruff. You didn't just save the center. Sam, you saved us? Sam shook his head, his eyes on the lanterns. Lancaster saved itself. Pete, I just kept the books. But as he turned back to lock the doors, the town knew. Those books were their story, and Sam was its heart.